Mm. Aloha, folks. It's Antonio with HypnosisProductReviews.com. Today I'm interviewing my friend and colleague Ken Guzzo from California about his upcoming talk at HypnoThoughts Live. And like I tell everybody, it's become kind of my branding. I tell everybody that I love hypnosis, and I'm pretty much everyone has my hypnotist shirt. It's the definition. I don't know if you can actually read it. It says, what is a hypnotist? It goes all the way through, and it's like this guy. Actually stole that one from, what is his name?
Rory.
Rory, that's it. Hey, Ken, how's it going, buddy?
Hey, Antonio, how you doing?
I'm good. I was wondering what you're doing. I'm like, is he hiding from the camera? You can't be that shy.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the first time I met Ken was at HypnoThoughts Live 2014. Awesome guy. Didn't get too much time to talk to him, but very funny guy. And very polite. So I hear you're from Canada, right?
Sorry about that.
No, I hear you're from Canada, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, yeah. Okay, now I got the joke. It was funny. Did you see my interview, or when I was interviewing Anthony Cools?
I did see that one. Yes, I did.
Yeah, the little debauchery at its finest, yeah. The finger flip. Forgot about that. I remember at one point he did something. He's like, "Oh, sorry." You guys apologize for everything. That's what I love about you guys. No,
unless we're on the ice, no apologies there.
Well, unless you're wait, where are you? What province are you from?
I was born in Ontario, a little steel town, very smelly place on the west tip of Lake Ontario. And that's where I'm from, but I've lived in Montreal, I've lived in Vancouver. Most of my friends are in Vancouver. And then I took a one-year contract in Australia, moved back to Toronto, and then I was actually living in Calgary, Alberta for a year and a half when I met my wife in Whistler, and she's from California, and that's what brought me here. So I've been all around.
Sweet. Now, what's the hockey team in Ontario?
The Leafs, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Wait, I'm sorry, you mispronounced it. Isn't it the Maple Laughs?
Well, it's funny to you because you didn't have to watch them for all those years when they sucked.
I'm from Detroit, so I lucked out with that one.
Stevie Yzerman, I miss him.
Yeah, it's funny. You guys sell out, or the Maple Laughs, correct name, politically correct name. They sell out every year.
Yeah, it's all corporate.
When's the last? Is it all corporate?
Yeah, that place sold out every night. It's all corporate. Everyone buys up tickets to give to their clients. Yep.
When's the last time they won? Was it 67?
Yeah, something like that. Now Hamilton, where I'm from, we were this close to getting a team. We almost got the Pittsburgh Penguins, and then Mario Lemieux came along and saved the Penguins. But we were this close to having the Pittsburgh Penguins move to Hamilton. But Buffalo Sabres were going to boycott that, because they didn't want because they get a lot of fans come down across the border.
Oh, and who are the Flyers from? They're Pennsylvania, right?
No, Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Oh, okay, Philadelphia. Okay, Philadelphia. Yeah, you know our fellow colleague Jess Marion is a huge Flyers fan.
What's the team in Hawaii?
Nothing. I don't know the flying Hawaiians.
Flying Hawaiians, yeah, that would work.
Okay, now so basically, what I want to get you on the podcast is to kind of give us a background, and we can segue into about the talk you're going to be doing at HypnoThoughts.
Okay. Absolutely. So this year, I'm going to be doing a 3-day post-conference class on my smoking cessation program. So my overarching point of view on hypnosis is that there's a lot of really good hypnotists out there that do really great work, but they're not making a lot of money, except for some that go into training or into the educational system who teach other hypnotists who don't make a lot of money. And I really want to change that. And for myself, I quit a corporate job to go into hypnosis because My wife was pregnant with my daughter at the time, and I didn't want to be working 12, 14 hours a day commuting into San Francisco. I wanted to be able to make my own schedule, to be around for the important moments of our life, and I wanted to, and that was my motivation for going into hypnosis and adding that to my my list of things that I do. But if I was going to do that, I need to make money at it, and so I need to treat my hypnosis like a business, and that I think really contradicts with some people's belief systems that if you're doing really, really good work and you're really helping people and making a difference in their lives,
you're doing God's work.
Yeah, God's work. Somehow it's wrong to charge for that, or it's wrong to make a good living at that, and they sabotage themselves, or they want to give it away, or they just don't have the business background to treat it like a business. So, so what I did was I went in and specialized, and I decided I was going to do smoking cessation, and I wanted to become the very best that I could possibly be at one thing. And I did it and did it and did it. And, for the first 4 years of my career, I didn't really even take a lot of trainings or meet other hypnotherapists. I was just focused in on becoming the best smoking cessationist I could possibly be. Fast forward a little bit, I've helped over 4,000 people stop smoking in one session, no drugs, no withdrawal, and a lifetime guarantee. That means if they ever pick up a cigarette for any reason, the craving ever comes back, they come in for free. The reason I can afford to give away free sessions to all of my clients for the rest of their lives is because only 5 to 10% of my clients ever require a second session. So I can do that. And I charge $5.95 per session. So I've been able to almost reverse my work week, because for the smoking clients, they'll happily pay $500 or $600 to quit smoking because they're spending $2,000 a year to smoke. That's per year. That's $20,000 over the next 10 years to smoke. They'll happily pay $500 or $600 to stop if you can, follow through and actually give them what they came for. And that's with, virtually everyone who comes into my office stops. And if they have any difficulty, I'll work with them until they're completely satisfied. So go ahead.
I think your math actually might be wrong. I think it's way more than 2,000. I think it's closer to it might be closer to I think I did the math. I think almost around 4,000.
Well, in Hawaii, yeah, those cigarettes are expensive out there, especially. Yeah, depending on where you're buying them.
40,000 in 10 years.
Yeah, very expensive. And that's not to mention, the burns on the clothes and the healthcare costs and the breath mints and the dry cleaning and, and the sick days that people take and just feeling lousy and smelling bad. So there's a lot of motivation for people to come see me. Now, unfortunately, by the time they get to see me, it's their last resort. They've tried everything else, and they have no idea how easy it could be. Well, what I've done is I've made my process everything that I do in my process is purposeful, and so it's systematic, and therefore it's duplicatable. And in my program,
hey Ken. Sorry for interrupting. I think I see your tail wagging around behind you. No, it's fine. I just saw your tail wagging.
This is Gracie.
No, I'm sorry.
Gracie's a little shy on the camera.
Does she help? Does the cat help with your sessions?
No, I do my sessions in my office. This is just strictly for the family.
Okay, we were talking about you said you created the sessions purposeful.
Yeah, so that makes it very duplicatable. And so what I do is I teach my smoking cessation class, and I teach everything. The hypnosis, I combine the most advanced hypnosis techniques with a neurological process to clear the cravings from the mind and the body. It's really a kind of a two-step. And the pre-talk that I use to set the whole thing up to win, the initial greeting, creating rapport very easily with the client. So everything that I do, I teach, and so that they can get the same results that I'm getting with my clients. And I teach it in a way so someone can get out there and be earning $5.95 per session, helping people stop smoking.
Even if you earn half of that, it's still a lot of money.
Yeah, or double that would be even more money.
Exactly. I like how you think. Without having all that hair, there, I don't know. I was gonna go with some kind of joke, but I just totally fell flat on that one. I had something in my head, but it disappeared. No, I was gonna
Me
say.
too.
So what was that?
Me too.
No. So your class, it's gonna be. I'm getting. It's gonna be the 18th to the 20th in August, right?
No, it's a post-conference class. So it'll be
Oh,
the
okay. My bad. My bad.
24th,
24th,
25th. Yeah.
So the 24th to the 26th in August.
Yeah. So, Scott asked me to do a 2-day post-conference class, and a couple weeks later, I contacted him. I said, you know what? I could give tips on how to help improve your practice in the smoking cessation for a couple of days, but I really don't know what value the other hypnotists would get from that. It would be helpful, but in terms of how to charge for it and what they get, I said, what I prefer to do is give them everything. The all the marketing, the practice management, the hypnosis, the neurological, to give them all of it. I could give them some of it ahead of time in video form and then have some follow-up afterward, but I would prefer to teach the whole class. And that's something that Hypnothoughts has never done before, is offer a course at this this magnitude or level. So what I normally do is I charge $6,000 for the whole class, which sounds like a lot compared to the other classes people take at Hypnothoughts. It's really, your first 10 clients would pay for the entire learn the entire process. Well, what I've done is I've offered a 40% discount. I've never ever discounted this program before, but so this is a Hypnothoughts Live exclusive, and we talked it over and we thought this would be a really good idea. And the first 5 people who register also get their Hypnothoughts Live conference paid for as well. So that's another $319 savings right there. But I wanted to give all of it plus the follow-up support so the people can have a turnkey practice, go in, specialize. So this is really different because most people, when they take a post-conference class at something like Hypnothoughts, which is, I think, the very best out there, they're looking to learn something new. They're looking to round out their skill set, learn some new techniques, find new ways to help their clients. Well, what I'm really offering is the opposite. The opposite of that. I really want people we're limiting the class to 12. So I'm looking for people that really want to hone their skills, to be the very best at one thing, so that they can, because if you get a reputation in your own community of being the very best at one aspect of something, and do that and do that and do that, the people will be a path to your door.
Oh, indeed. Craig Eubanks. Craig Eubanks talks a lot about niche it down. I know I've gone to some people's practice websites, and I'll look at the page, and they've got like 20 different things they can help with. It's almost like when you look at let's say if you look at a newspaper that's just completely filled with stuff, there's no white space there. There's no negative space. Take rid of everything else and be like, hey, I do this. I specialize in this.
Yeah, and people think they're turning money away if they don't list everything that they do, and I found the exact opposite to be true. Make a reputation for one thing, and then my business has been 100% referral for over 4 years now. And so now when people contact me back, well, can you help me with weight loss? Can you help me with anxiety, with this or that? I say, absolutely I can, but I made my reputation in one thing, built it to be 100% referral, so people will book themselves in online or by phone. They show up, I show up, and then as people contact afterward, then absolutely open yourself up to these other things. But make a reputation for yourself and be the very best at something first.
That's brilliant. Now, if you don't mind me asking, how much money will this set people back?
Well, with a 40% discount, that would be $3,600.
So $3,600. So, folks, let me see if I can do some math in my head. As you know, I'm not too good at math. We were trying to figure out the time zone change yesterday. 7.
Okay. You do the math. Do the math. You do the math.
Okay. You idiot. I wonder what you're doing. So you said 3,600. So, folks, let's say if you spent more than, I guess, $8,000 on any kind of training in the past, no. If you spent more than, I guess, $10,000 on any kind of seminars or training in the past, this class is probably going to be a value, at least like a $7,000 value. It's only going to cost you $3,600, and for the first 5 people, take one finger away, First
Yep,
5 people are basically getting their registration paid.
that's right. And your first 6 clients will pay for the entire education, and then you'll be, earning a very healthy six-figure income from there then on. And
What
that's
if they
my
what if they what if they double and they make it $1,200? So it'd be the first 3 clients.
well, that's possible too. It's funny because I've had clients. When in talking about the price, $5.95. I used to get when I advertised on radio and I did that. I tell people all the things I do for marketing and all the things that worked really well and then stopped working and all the mistakes I made, so that people can just go right in and learn from all my mistakes as well as all the things that work. But some people would say, "Hey, that's a lot of money," and I explained to them, I wouldn't even tell them the price anymore. They ask me, "How much does it cost your program cost to quit smoking?" I say, 2 months worth of cigarettes. I said, "Oh, that makes sense." And then some people say that's really inexpensive, and because some of my clients have gone to Arizona to some 2 week exclusionary place where they try and get rid of all their cravings, and some people spend tens of thousands of dollars trying to stop, and $500 or $600 to quit is nothing to them, especially with all the money they're spending to quit smoking or to actually smoke.
Hey, folks, that right there is brilliant. That's a real good way to market. Instead of saying it's $5.99 to quit smoking, you can tell them it's 2 months. It's basically 2 months of cigarettes. And I know that because I'm actually a smoker. I quit a couple times. The last time I quit was before March of last year, and we had started smoking again after our old roommate passed away. So I just kind of stressed out, and I gotta get back in the habit of not smoking. I have to get back in the habit of not smoking. Anyhow, I know where he's coming from about telling people it's 2 months of cigarettes. Because as a smoker, if somebody were to come up to me and be like, "Hey, give me $4,000 to smoke for the year," I'd be like, "No, go away. It's a lot of money." But if they're like, "Hey, give me $10," $10 isn't that much. So $10 a day is not that much money. It's still a lot of money, but you don't really perceive it as a lot. So if you frame it that way and say, "Hey, it's 2 months of cigarettes," they're like, "Man, that's not too bad."
No.
If you tell them
And
$600 right off the bat, it scares them.
right. And then the only thing you need to do then is follow through on what you promised. So, it's a piece of free advice. Any hypnotherapist that's out there that's thinking of themselves as to how much they charge per hour, you need to let that go. What is the value that you're giving your client? Because that's what they're paying for. Now, the other side of that is you need to be able to follow through. You need to have a very, very high success rate if you're going to charge that type of money. So you need to follow up. You need to be the very best at something, and then you can easily charge that type of money, and people will happily pay it and refer their friends and family to you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Don't be fleecing people. Don't offer them. There's certain people in our field that offer magical cures, saying they can cure cancer, do this and do that and do that. I'm like, dude, that's so horrible. You got to stay within our limits. I mean, there's been a couple times I've done a couple sessions with people that I should never have touched. One being trauma, and I quickly learned my lesson. You got to know your scope of practice and just be honest with people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And by offering the lifetime guarantee, people really get that I care about them and their success. And I don't want someone to have to think about, should I pay another session to come see Ken again? No, you don't have to think about it. It's free. Get back in here. If you ever need help, I'm here for you. And when people get that, they will come back in. Because I was really amazed in working with smokers how much guilt and shame they carry. And when I've got hundreds of video testimonials, Yelp reviews, and all these things, and I was amazed in doing those video testimonials how many of them said how important it was that they didn't feel judged in the session. They didn't feel like they were a bad person for smoking. I had no idea that was such a big deal to them.
I don't know. As a smoker, I could see that because it's essentially, I guess, in this day and age, they're almost like an outcast. The bars, you can't smoke at the bars anymore. It stinks. All the commercials. Like a lot of younger kids, I guess, are being. It's good that they're programming the younger kids like, hey, it's a bad habit, don't do it. But I mean, you'll definitely get looks.
Smoking is up with the younger kids. 1 in 3 college kids are smoking now, and then you add the vape, and they don't even claim to help you stop smoking. It's just, hey, buy your little nicotine packets from us instead of buying it from the tobacco companies. So, the overall smoking is up, even with all the public awareness. So it's a really wonderful thing to be able to help save lives. I just got a birthday wish from one of my very first clients. She's in Australia. We met at a conference I was speaking at in Panama City, Panama. And after my talk, she ran up and said, I heard in your introduction you can help people stop smoking. Will you help me stop smoking? Actually, her and 7 others. So I spent the whole next day. I was supposed to be by the pool. We just went one after another, and one after another, and we did all 7 of them. And the hotel staff loved me because I have people bring their last pack in and throw it in my waste bin. Well, these people just went through duty free, so they had cartons. I had stacks of cartons this high beside the garbage bin in my hotel room. But that was 8 years ago, and I just got a birthday wish from her saying, "Thank you so much, you and my husband. You saved our lives." And people really hold it that way. You're saving lives. You're improving the quality of people's lives. If you could look at what someone's life would look like 20 years later, you could do a snapshot of each. Someone who frees themselves in smoking, someone continues to smoke. I bet you'd hardly recognize those 2 people. Their energy level, the grayness in their skin, whether they're living their life or whether they're kind of hoofing it and feeling tired and hanging out on the couch. It's really a big difference.
Oh yeah, now if you could, I don't know if you can do this in the amount of time we have. Is it possible you can give me a rundown, I guess, of how a typical session is, or your session is not that typical? I'm sure you have to change it for each individual client.
Well, yes, I can run it down basically because everything that I do is very carefully scripted in terms of the process. Now, within that, there's lots of room, and this is for a smoking cessation session. In any other hypnosis I do is not scripted at all. I just meet the person where they are. But for the smoking cessation, I find it really unique in that most of my smokers, when they come in, they're not really even open to hypnosis. They're not particularly new agey. They're not particularly health conscious. So what they needed was a process that would take them from where they are and walk them through step by step by step. So first of all, when people come in to see me, these people are all nervous and anxious. They've tried everything and failed. Their confidence is low. They're like, what the hell, might as well try this too. That's what they're coming in with, and that's where I meet them. And just, we need to have them feel comfortable, feel rapport, make sure that they're not being judged and they're okay. So I show people, how I break the ice with that. Usually I use a little bit of humor, but also I want to build my credibility up with them right away. So I do a little test with them neurologically, and just to make sure that I can work with them neurologically, and with some arm testing and some tapping and things. And most of them have never ever heard of muscle testing or anything like that. So immediately they're seeing something's happening with their body, and they're blown away that this is working. Something's happening already, and my credibility goes up with them. Then I take them to another room, and I used to do my pre-talk live, but now I have them watch a video, which starts to save my voice, because seeing 9 clients a day, working, those hours and just gabbing without a break, I started losing my voice. So I had to start working smarter. So I used technology, kind of like you're doing with these webcast interviews. So I have them watch that, and while they're building rapport with me, I'm in the other room working with another client. So it allows me to double my time as well. But in the video pre-talk, I'm interrupting patterns. I'm building rapport with them. I'm creating a positive expectation. I'm doing all the things that are going to set them up to win in the actual session. Then I take them into another room and work with their neurological system for about 10 minutes, because their system wants to keep them smoking the way they are right now. It does not want to change. We identify the problem, reverse it, and clear it. And they're actually a non-smoker before they ever sit in the chair for the hypnosis. The body clearly indicates it, they feel it, and they know it. It's an amazing thing to experience firsthand. And then we do the hypnosis. Of course, that's just like listening to me tell them the story, and we all know the hypnotic part. But imagine what it would be like to do your hypnosis sessions with your client knowing that the change has already occurred. So what happens is that they already feel like a non-smoker, their cravings are gone, Their confidence level's way up. They're relaxed. They're not worried about it so much. What does that do? That makes the hypnosis session work better. So they're relaxed. They're not worrying about it. The suggestions for the hypnosis side are going through. It's really like a 1-2 punch to clear the cravings from the mind and the body. So everything that I do in a session is setting the client up to win, and to win. Then when we're finished the session, we do a couple of other tests, and I set up an expectation of what they should expect, which I covered in the pre-talk, but I also review at the end, and let them know that just the way they were referred to me by someone else, that's how my business works. So go out and be successful, show yourself how easy it is, and then let other people know how easy it was for you. And I have a little program for referrals to say thank you for people who refer. Just a little something to say thank you. It's nothing really, really special, but you know what? It means something to them that I take the time to say thank you. And with that approach, I haven't done any marketing, no pay-per-click, nothing for over 4 years now, and and I have as much business as I can handle.
So you said, what's your typical workload? Are you doing what, 7 to 10, 11 clients?
In a day?
Yeah.
In a day, typically, well, I've kind of reversed my work week recently because we just moved to another city. We had a brand new big house we had to kind of furnish. We had a brand new baby that I wanted to be around for. So I see clients 2 or 3 days a week. But at $5.95 per session, if I'm seeing even 4 or 6 clients in a day, that's a $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 work week.
Wow, that's a really good work week.
And then I get to focus on the North American Academy of Hypnosis. So being able to teach and train basic hypnosis and the smoking cessation program. I'm working on a couple of books. I get to be around with my young children. My son Xander is 2, just about to turn 3, and my daughter Sarah's 7, about to turn 8. So what I love about hypnosis is I can take the summers off. I can take December off for Christmas. And when you're making the type of money, you can take time off. You can have more intimate relationships with your family. I don't feel burnt out because I'm seeing a few clients a week, and so I can really focus in on being the very best for those clients. So again, everything compounds and amplifies and magnifies on itself. So I feel very, very blessed. We were talking just before you hit the record button. Before I came to Hypnothoughts, we went to Europe. We went to Kauai for 10 days. I was in Ontario visiting my family for 10 days. And when I got to Hypnothoughts on the Saturday morning, I had just gotten back from Kauai, and I was on 1 hour sleep. And then we stayed up with Scott and Richard and everyone until 3 a.m. It was pretty crazy. But
yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I'm trying to do the math. I'm pretty sure that I think I was in Vegas right when you were finishing your vacation off here.
Oh yeah.
Pretty something like that. Yeah. How do you like the chickens over here?
Oh, they're everywhere. That's pretty wild.
You know what?
I hear.
What's funny?
Not very good eating though.
No. Oh God, no. No. The joke here is if you take a chicken, you take a lava rock, boil them. Lava rock is more tender. But the funny thing is I get a lot of people, if I do street hypnosis, I haven't really done it much lately. A lot of, of course, what question? You're going to make me cluck like a chicken. And I just tell people, I'm like, come on, seriously, look around. We have enough of those things. And then they laugh. I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way.
I say absolutely, but I charge extra for that.
I want to tell people, like, honestly, do you think I would come up with something more interesting than that? I'm sorry, what were you saying just before they were talking about? So you're basically talking about how you're making good money. Yeah, you forgot. You're making good money to where you're able to travel everywhere.
Well, I only say that to make it relevant in that I want to convey a message to whoever's watching this that there's no reason why you can't duplicate what I'm doing and get the same results. That's the only thing that's relevant. My process is systematic, and I'm going to teach you step by step. I have all the scripting for the hypnosis. That's the easiest part. The neurological has a process that clears the cravings very, very quickly from somebody, and I find by combining the two together, it's like a 1-2 punch. The cravings have nowhere to go. So when they leave the session, they know that it worked. Here's what was happening in the past, and I've talked about this at other trainings and conferences. I'd get the most really interesting emails. Ken, I was so pissed off at you. I was like, what's this going to be about? I left your office and I got ripped off for $600. My arm wasn't heavy. It didn't work. I wasn't hypnotized. And I was just about to tell my wife how I got ripped off for $600, and I realized I forgot to smoke all the way home. Like, well, that's weird. Well, let's see what happens the next day. And then the next day they get up, they drink the coffee, they run off to work, they realize they forgot their cigarette with their coffee, and they forgot to smoke on the way to work. So I get these really interesting emails, but what was common among each of them was they didn't know when they left my office if anything had happened or not. Okay, and they were looking for out there to prove to them that something happened in here. And that was my motivation for creating this process. I wanted people to have a visceral experience in my office that something changed. And since I do that before the hypnosis, they just relax into the session. It just, again, everything compounds on everything. But my clients walk out of the office absolutely certain that they're a non-smoker. And it's a wonderful way for someone to experience this type of transformative change, because they're not stressed or concerned or nervous or worried about what's going to happen when they walk out the door. They already know the change happened. Oh, did you freeze up? Oh, hi, everybody. It's now the Ken Guzzo webcast. Hi, I don't know if Antonio's coming back. I don't know if I'm still being recorded, but I'll just, maybe I'll just tell some jokes. Hey, buddy, are you there? Hello? Antonio. Uh-oh. I think we'll probably edit this part out so I can just... Oh, there's Antonio. Let's see what Antonio has to say. Be right back. Connection dropped. Okay. I'll keep... Ha ha ha, Antonio says, for the viewing audience. Give me about 10. Converting some video. All right.